Oh, thank you. Hey, it's Nick from Oregon. Good to hear from you.
Hey, Nick, how's it going, man? Thanks for the call.
Good. It's going great. So I wanted to tune in, or I wanted to ask. I'm not sure if you addressed this already. It's kind of fringe in terms of worries or concerns, but I was wondering if you had any opinion on, I guess not so much Elizabeth Warren's vote. I mean, it matters too, but
Yeah.
specifically Bernie Sanders' vote on. I can't remember. It's not Tillerson, but it's the. I think it's Mattis.
General Mattis,
Whatever. Yeah, yeah, I think
right,
it's
for
that one. And he
Secretary of
like he had some
Defense.
kind of explanation. Yeah, and he had some explanation about it, like, oh, I think he has more moderate positions or whatever than the other ones. I just wondered if you had an opinion on that, and that was my only question.
Yeah, okay, that's a good call. Thanks for the question. And I'll give it to you off air. So, all right, let's shift gears. Let's shift gears a little bit. So Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren support General Mad Dog Mattis as head of the Pentagon. Here's the deal: we're not going to get a Democratic or progressive leaning secretary cabinet member. Can we all agree there? Let's start there. We're not going to get that. Two, are there? Yes, there are worse choices than Mattis, right? There are worse choices than, and it's hard to believe, but believe that, right? There are worse choices out there. And the only reason I'm thinking of it this way, somebody actually argued me down about this. I had a hard line, like no support across the board, period. But they called me on it and said, would you want someone who's actually far worse than Mattis as Secretary of Defense? I mean, there are some. It's not like we're going to go in a better direction with Donald Trump. Now, I'm not just using this to justify, like let's take Betsy DeVos, for example. She is the absolute worst choice for the Department of Education. If a Democrat, votes for her, we need to primary the hell out of them and get them the hell out of there, right? Tillerson, I've got a litany of problems with Tillerson, but Donald Trump does have the capacity of doing worse. So we have to ask ourselves the question, what do we actually expect to get out of these nominations? Do we expect to block the nominations? No, because the majority of them, some of them at least, are straight party line vote. They don't require supermajority. So unless somebody, I think in some cases, they actually can place a filibuster on them. Are we asking our leaders to keep key positions empty for the next 4 years? I mean, Republicans did do it. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't have an opinion on it because we are going to get Donald Trump. He could put recess appointments. He could put somebody there in the stead. There is really no stopping Donald Trump's agenda, and we could block somebody like Mattis and end up with somebody worse than Mattis. DeVos is the worst, right? I cannot imagine. Ben Carson for HUD is the worst. Rick Perry for the Department of Energy is the absolute worst. I cannot imagine it getting any worse. But in the Department of Defense, I actually can't imagine someone worse than Mattis. And this is not to say that I just trust Bernie Sanders or trust Elizabeth Warren, which I don't. It's to say we have to really evaluate what do we expect to get out of this unless we're willing to just block and put a blanket hold on any of Trump's nominations. And then what does that actually do for the institutions? Because honestly, the institutions themselves are really our last barrier of defense, our last line of defense, right? That's all I got for you on that.